Okay, bro, having a daily schedule is so underrated. Most people do not take the time to create one because they aren't even aware of the concept. If you can implement what I'm about to show you in this video and you can actually stick to it, you're going to be so much more likely to achieve your goals and change your life. So when I say daily schedule, what I'm talking about is basically we are going to create a blueprint or a plan that's essentially going to tell us what we need to be doing throughout the day, right? It's going to be eliminating distractions and chaos from our lives and making us have to focus in on what we want to achieve. If you don't have a plan or a blueprint, you're just floundering about and you can't stay focused on what you need to be doing. So that's what the daily schedule solves, is it solves that you don't know what you're supposed to be doing at a particular time. So we're creating a list or a map basically that says, hey, at this hour, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. At this time, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And don't get this confused with a routine, because a routine is really more about what you're doing, whereas the daily schedule is, I guess, look at it more as like, it's like a shell, it's an outer shell, and the routine is what you're doing inside. So today we're talking about creating the sort of outer shell that the routine will go into, right? Because you can plug anything into that daily schedule that you want. And so that's really the reason why we should create a daily schedule, is because it's going to help us stay laser focused on what we want out of life, right? Because we're always getting distracted by social media, other people, that we need to put our lives in order so that we can hit the marks and achieve the goals that we want to. And so that daily schedule really takes kind of these macro, bigger goals you may have, and it breaks it down into the micro. So the daily is like, what action do I take today that's going to put me in the position where I'm closer to that macro goal? It's the micro picture that you can basically map out, and now you just follow it and it just leads you exactly where you want to go. I never used to use daily schedules. I wouldn't plan out anything. My time off or my free time, I would just kind of live in the moment and think about, what do I want to do next? Kind of just living on the fly like that. And I remember I was watching YouTube. I was actually on YouTube, like watching videos about business and entrepreneurship. And it was one of those videos, top 5 things all millionaires do, or the 10 things that all millionaires do, like one of those kind of more like cliche videos. And so I clicked on it and I was watching it, and some of the stuff was, kind of just seemed pretty regurgitated basic advice that I'd heard a million times, and I was like, oh, whatever. But then there was this one thing that came up where they said, most people, or most like millionaires who want to actually and are chasing after goals, they have a daily schedule. They have a system every day that will lead them to where they want to go. They're not just sitting there, thinking and like doing random shit. They have a plan, basically a daily plan. This was really eye-opening to me, and I started to follow that path of trying to create my own daily schedule. And basically what I did in the beginning was I created like a task list, or like a weekly kind of task list of like different things that I wanted to do. Basically a to-do list, which is not really a daily schedule, but it was a start. It was a starting point. And so I went from there, which I was basically creating to-do lists, to actually having a real daily schedule that's in like real time and with reminders and everything. And so today I'm going to show you how to create your own. Okay, so if you're getting any value and you want to help spread the message, like the video. All right, so the first thing we need to do is identify some goals, right? You need to identify some goals that you want to actually achieve. So that could be, you want to get ripped, you want to build some kind of business, whatever your goals are. You want to basically identify those before you make the daily schedule, because the daily schedule is going to help you get to those goals. So first, figure out what are like some goals that you want to start implementing. It doesn't need to be a whole bunch of different things. It could just be one thing or 2 things that you want to see happen in your life, right? That you're going to take action on. Once we have those goals laid out, now we know that every time we take an action on that, it's leading to that, and it's building a habit. Because every day when we take action on this at the same time, right, and we just keep doing that, it's going to build a snowball effect where it becomes a habit, and you're just steadily moving towards your goal, right? You're just steadily moving towards achieving that. So once we have the goals and the habits that we want to create identified, we're going to take those and we're going to put those and create a daily schedule around those. So a lot of people will write down on paper what they want to do. Some people will use like an alarm system, like on their phone. They'll just write up a bunch of different alarms that will tell them. Again, my favorite thing to use, and I've shown this in some of my other videos for kind of time management techniques and stuff, is Google Calendar. Can't talk today. So Google Calendar is free online software that's basically allows you to write down your daily schedule, and it'll allow you to program in reminders, which is extremely helpful and extremely important. So you want to take those habits that you want to create, right, and those goals that you've identified, and you want to break that down into what do I need to do today to get to that goal. So if we're thinking about, hey, I want to go to the gym and I want to get ripped, well, what do we need to do in order to get there? Well, we need to actually go to the gym and actually work out, right? So you break down that goal into micro daily actions that you can take to get closer, which is going to create the habit, right? So now that we've done that, we're going to find, all right, this is the daily action, go to the gym. Now we need to decide, when do we want to do this habit? Because we want it to be the same every day. You've decided, okay, this is the most likely time I'm going to be able to do this. Because you want to make sure that that action, this is key, you want to make sure that that action is during a time where you're most likely to do it. For example, if you're go to the gym at 5 a.m., but you hate getting up in the morning, but you feel pretty decent in the evening, well, why would you put gym earlier in the day then? You want to put it in an area and in a time zone, a time frame that's going to be most likely that you're going to actually do the thing. So this is going to take experimentation on your end to find out, what does my day today look like right now? What is my work schedule, sleep schedule? And then you're going to learn how to fit all these things in. And it's going to be difficult at first, but once you actually get it down, this is going to really boost your time management skills and get you much closer to the goals that you want to achieve. So another point I want to make about this is, once you've done all this, it's really important to use reminders. So Google Calendar has reminders built into its system so that you can turn those on and make sure you use those, because you're going to need reminders for you to remember to do what you need to do. Because when you're first getting started with this, it's going to be so difficult because you're used to just doing whatever you want at any time of the day. It's going to be really hard to have that discipline to stay focused and to do what you set out to do. So make sure you use everything around you that you can to help you, which is going to include the reminders. You want to make sure that your reminder is not set at like 30 minutes before you're supposed to do the thing that you should do, because you're not going to do it. If you set your reminder at 30 minutes and then it goes off, ding, and then 30 minutes later you're supposed to do the thing, you're going to be distracted or you will have forgotten. So make sure you set it, I'd say no more than 5 minutes. I found for me, 5 minutes works really well. It's just enough of a heads up that I'm thinking, okay, I need to do this thing, and give me 5 minutes to get into position to actually do it. It's not like goes off and it's like, do this right now, but it gives you a slight heads up of, this is the thing that you should be doing. So yeah, this is basically the foundation of my day-to-day life now. This is what I use for all the micro picture things in my life in terms of planning the day-to-day, what I should be doing, when should I be doing it, and actually achieving it and getting it done. The macro, like your bigger goals and things, you know that you're heading towards them when you have a daily schedule that is pushing you in that direction. And so I really hope that you implement this and that it will help you, because I know for sure it changed my life, and I would love for that to happen to you, because there's so many people out there who aren't even aware of the idea of making a schedule to help them achieve their goals. And they're just going about life just kind of like in a daydream, not really aiming for anything and not pushing themselves toward it and using all the tools that they can to help themselves get there. There's so few people I know who actually use daily schedules. So again, if you implement this, you'll be so much more likely to achieve your goals, and you'll be one of the few who will actually get to where they want to go on purpose.